This special is sponsored by Verizon, helping you stay connected.
What's going on, Pretoria? And all the people who drove from Johannesburg. We made it, everybody. We made it. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Oh, I'm so happy to be here. Thank you for coming out. It's been a long time coming. We've been waiting for this. You've been waiting. I've been waiting. It was supposed to happen a long time ago, but then it couldn't happen because of COVID. COVID was happening. I couldn't come back to do the shows. And then they said there's no shows. And then they said the shows are limited. Then they said it's not limited, but now there's still COVID. Then I saw COVID in South Africa. I was like, I'm not going to take that chance. Yeah, because COVID in America was easy. They just asked you. They're like, please don't go outside. And if you did, they were like, well, we tried. Yeah, hey, it was no joke. I saw soldiers kicking people into their houses. Get inside. I'm in my yard. Hey, COVID is coming. So I was like, I'll wait. But I was always coming back. Wow, it's good to be back, y'all. It is so good to be back. So good to be back home. You know, everyone asked me that question, by the way. A lot of people ask me that question. They go like, Trevor, does it still feel like home? Hey? Does it feel like home? Like, is it really home? Guys, it will always feel like home. That doesn't change. The people, the food, the culture, And most importantly, the reason it'll always feel like home is because even when I was in New York for 8 years, every few months, I would get an SMS from the SABC telling me to pay my TV license. Yo, guys, those people are relentless, eh? Those people are relentless. I was in New York, these people were still there. Cling, pay your TV license, you are in arrears, 47 Rand and 60 cents. I would ignore it because I was like, it's probably automated, I don't even live there. They would come back in, second warning, pay your TV license. 47 Rand and 60 cents. I was like, guys, I don't live there. You must leave me alone. I even replied once. I was like, stop. Unsubscribed. Then they responded, Pay your TV license. 47 Rand, 60 cents. I started ignoring it. A few months later, I got referred to a debt collector. Yeah, because the SABC doesn't play, guys. They're one of the one section that works there is the debt collecting. They don't play games there. Literally, I was minding my own business. I'm walking around in New York City. My phone rings. It was an unknown number, right? And I answered it, because you can when you live in America. You can do these things, you know? Yeah, you can take chances like, because in South Africa, guys, you know. Right. Unknown numbers, unknown problems, yeah? So I answered the phone. I was like, hello? And the voice on the other side was like, hi, Mr. Noah. Am I speaking to Mr. Noah? I was like, yes. Like, hi, Mr. Noah, you speaking to Johan here? I'm calling you from De Wet and Associates. We've been referred your case by the SABC because your account are in arrears and your failure to pay means that we are now going to be attaching your assets. I was like, assets? Plural. That's 47 Rand and 60 cents. He's like, that's right, Mr. Noah, but actually now it has gone up. It is now 49 Rand. Because of interest. I was like, Johan, listen, man. I don't live in South Africa, so I don't need a TV license because I don't watch TV in South Africa anymore. He's like, well, we don't know that, Mr. Noah. Okay? We don't know where you are or what you are doing. I was like, my man, but you do. You do. No, because, guys, I worked at a show called The Daily Show. They wrote it in the name. So you knew where I was every day. Every day. That's the best alibi. Where is he? He's there. When? Daily. Johan didn't buy that, eh? Johan was like, well, sir, because you didn't go through the correct protocol, then you did not cancel your TV license, so you are still in arrears. I didn't even know there was protocol. Did you know this? Did you know? I didn't know this. What is the protocol? He's like, so you were supposed to go and get an affidavit stating that you no longer have a TV. I'm like, Johan, our police are dealing with too many things in this country. For me now to go to them, can you imagine me walking into a police station? I'm there waiting in the line. Finally, I get up there. Next. Yebo Baba. Yes, can I help you? Yes, so I need an affidavit, please. Okay, what's happening? I don't have a TV. Oh, they stole it. No, they didn't steal it. So you have it? No, I don't have it. No, I don't live here and I don't have a TV. I need to tell the SABC I don't need a TV license. Okay. So what do you want from me? No, I need an affidavit. I need you to write the affidavit. That's what they said. Oh, okay. What's your name? Trevor. Okay, Trevor doesn't have a TV. But how do I know you don't have a TV? I'm like, I don't know. He's like, okay, did you watch Chief Pirates? No. Okay, doesn't know the Chiefs Pirates game, no TV, STEM. What am I doing? It's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. He didn't follow the protocol, but Johan was adamant. I'm having an hour-long conversation. We're arguing back and forth. At some point, I said, Johan, I know you're doing your job. I know you're doing your job, Johan. But please, I don't watch TV in South Africa. And then Johan, without missing a beat, is like, Mr. Noah, you might live in America, but we don't know when and where you are coming back and what you are doing. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, unbeknownst to us, you may be watching TV, yeah. I'm like, what does that mean? What, you think I'm sneaking back into the country to watch Seven Delan? Yeah, quickly, that Charmaine, make it back to Oppie Coffee, quickly. So I paid. Yeah, it's the right thing to do. I couldn't wait to get back home. I'm so excited. I was like, I have to get back to South Africa. I have to get back to South Africa. I have to get back to see you, to do the shows. Mostly because I'm tired of South Africans terrorizing everybody in my life. I'll explain what I mean. South Africans have become notorious around the world, right? Especially online. Whenever something happens online and South Africans get involved, people know you. Doesn't matter what country they're from. They're like, when South Africans get on Twitter, you must cross the street. And it's the same for me. Every time I announce I'm going to be doing shows in any country that isn't South Africa, yo guys, South Africans get angry, eh? South Africans get angry, start rioting in my mentions. People losing their minds. I'll be like, I'm going to Germany. Recently, I was excited. I was like, I'm going to Paris. I'm going to be doing a show in France. People lost it. Trevor, what the hell? When are you coming back to South Africa? Yeah, Trevor, you think you're better. When are you don't know? You don't want to perform here anymore. Yeah, no, Trevor, this country needs you. Why aren't you coming back? What? You're not South African anymore. What not? My favorite one was one guy who just wrote, we've also got Paris. You know, guys, it's gotten so intense that even my team in LA is afraid of South Africans. My team in Los Angeles is terrified of you, terrified. Yeah, we'll announce that we're doing a tour, right? And the first time this happened, it was mind-blowing. One of my team members came up to me and he's like, yo, Trevor, dude, this is really exciting, man. We're launching the European dates. Everything's going live and we're gonna be kicking that off tomorrow. And I was like, oh, that's cool. So when do we go live? He's like, well, we're just waiting for South Africans to go to sleep. I was like, what? He's like, yeah, we just gotta wait for them to go to sleep. We've realized if we don't wait, then they come in, they're really angry that you're not coming home. So we wait for them, and then when the last one's asleep, then we load it online. And I'm like, what are they saying? He's like, well, they say a lot of things. Some people say you think you're better than them, and some people say you've forgotten your roots, and look, to be honest, most of them just write this one word, pose. You know who you are. Now I'm busy there trying to explain. What does pose mean? No, it doesn't mean anything. Hey, it just means like crazy, you know? Like, yeah, what a crazy story. Pose. So I had to come back just to stop South Africans from terrorizing me online. You know? Yeah, you guys know who you are. I've learned, keep your friends close and South Africans closer. I was so excited though, man. I was coming back home, you know, flying back into the country. You know, when you're heading back into South Africa, you're like, I wonder if it's gonna feel the same. You know, this is the longest I've been away. Longest. You know, you come back regularly, you see family, do shows, and then there was this long break. And I was like, what's changed? But as soon as you land, you're like, no, guys, we've still got it, man. No, man, we've still got it. This country, from the moment you land in it, you feel like you're in a special place. You feel it. You know where you feel it? You feel it in the airports. South African airports are warmer than any other airport in the world. Every time you land in South African airports, you feel like you're welcomed home. It doesn't matter who you are. Have you been to airports overseas? Doesn't matter which country you go to. It seems like it's a trap. Like they're finding an excuse to kick you out. Where's your papers? Where's this? Where's that? Stand over there, move. You're not supposed to be here. Get out of here. Nah, not in South Africa. Here, I feel like everybody can get in. I feel like we're on everyone's side. Huh? Fake passport, no problem, we can talk about it. Everybody's welcome. That's the country I want to be from. You land at OR Tambo, you get there to passport control, you know? They've got that little camera, that's my favorite thing. Have you seen that camera that doesn't see your face, it just sees like your colors, your temperatures? I don't even know what that's really for. Is it Ebola? Is it COVID? No, because I've noticed they never pull anybody aside. Like they just show you your colors and they're very adamant. They'll be like, look at the camera. Excuse me, look at the camera. Then you look there and then you see like orange, red, all these different colors. And then they'll be like, look at the camera. Then you look, then they're like, you, purple. Okay, you can go. You're like, I can? You're like, but I'm purple. What does that mean? I love getting to passport control because that's when I have my first real interaction with a South African. And the people at passport control all have personality. This trip was even better. I'm waiting in line. Finally, they call me, next. And I go up there. I get there, I give them my passport. I'm like, dumelang. She's like, ahe, likai. I was like, riting, likai. She's like, riting. Let me, whoo! Trevor Noah. It's my lucky day. Trevor Noah. I can't believe it. Go on, Trevor. Is that you? Is that you? Oh, Trevor. Oh, Cynthia, woman of Rikimang. Get Trevor. Trevor Noah. Isn't Trevor Manuel? Trevor Noah. The comedian. Trevor Noah. Go day show. Yeah, get Trevor. Now she doesn't have DSTV, that one. Yeah, Trevor, you're back. Hey, look at you. You, Trevor, you are traveling, eh? Look how many stamps here. Trevor. Trevor, this is too much. You are not tired. Hi, Trevor. Bonafella, look at all these countries. Look here. Look, which country is this one, Trevor? What was this one? Moldova. You, Trevor. But you're back now, nah? How long are you going to be here? I was like, it's actually going to be a while now. I have more time. She's like, oh, really? Oh, yeah, because they fired you by the Daily Show, nah? I was like, what? No, I left. You left where? I left the show. They didn't fire you. I was like, no. Why did you leave? Were they paying you? Yes. And you left? Unalemaga. You are lying, Trevor. There's no South African that can leave a job when they are getting paid. That can never happen. You are just leaving a job, but they are paying you. Which South African can do? Even me, I'm leaving my job now. Wow, Trevor, unalemaga. Why did you leave? Tell the truth, Trevor. What happened? What happened, Trevor? Did you steal something? You can tell me, Trevor, what happened? Did you steal something? I won't judge you, Pella. We are South Africans. Yeah, Linda, I know sometimes how it can be. You don't even plan. You're just there. Then something can pop up. You're like, yay. Now it's like sticky fingers. It's just, you just want to. Pella, not Trevor. It happened to me, Linda, Trevor. Eh? Here at work, there was a stapler. I don't even know where it was from. This stapler was just there, Trevor. Yeah, Trevor. That stapler. Then I took it home, Trevor. You know, at home we don't even staple, eh? We don't even staple, but now every day we are there, katakatla, Trevor. Where are you doing? What did you take? I'm like, I didn't take nothing. You are lying, Trevor. You are lying. I know why you are back. You're here for CCMA. You must do it. Yeah. They're going to pay you, Trevor. Welcome back. I could feel it. I'm home. Immediately, I was like, this is it, man. There's no other country like this. Oh, and what a journey it's been, people. What a journey it has been. You know, traveling around the country, coming out, doing these shows for you. You know, we went to Cape Town, went to Durban. Here we are in Pretoria. Everyone coming out together. Yo, it's been so much fun. So much. Every place I go to, though, it's interesting. You get a taste of how the people are, you know? Like Durban was interesting because I don't know what it is about people in Durban, but it feels like they want to fight with you for no reason all the time. No, even when they're like being nice to you, it feels like they want to fight, you know? And I've noticed this, you know where I've noticed it is when you're taking pictures with South Africans, that's when you notice it, you know? Because South Africans are very different to everyone in the world, especially with how they deal with fame. I've noticed this, you know? Like overseas, fame is like a religion. Right? Especially like in places like America. You know, when you're famous there, people worship you. You know, you see people spotting a celebrity in the streets like, oh my God, it's Beyonce. Ah! And then they faint. Ah! Ah! No, South Africans aren't like that. South Africans, you're not famous. I feel like in South Africa, people just know you. You know? Yeah, like here when I walk in the street, no one's like, ah! I hear people are just like, Trevor! Yeah. Everywhere it's different. Every single place, it's different. Cape Town was one of my favorites because we were there for a while, you know, and I haven't done shows in Cape Town for a very long time, you know. I haven't done shows in Cape Town for a long time, and so I was there. In fact, the last time I did shows in Cape Town was when the DA was still being led by Lindiwe Mazibuko and it was Musi Maimane. Yeah, that's how far it was. And then now when I got there, it was like, wow, I was like, damn, it's been that long. Because now it was like some guy, Oosthuizen or something, and Helen Ziller. I was like, damn. I was like, this is pretty impressive, DA. Yeah, you proved everybody wrong. You showed that once you go black, you can go back. Wow. Look at you. And Cape Town has flavor, eh? Cape Town has flavor. I'm walking in the streets one day, and they've got a beautiful city center there. And I'm walking on a street called Kloof Street. And I'm walking along, minding my own business. And from across the street, almost a block away, I hear some guy screaming my name. Trevor! Trevor! And I turn, and I see, and there's a guy far on the other side. He's wearing like blue overalls, and he's like, Trevor! And I look, and he's like, wait there! And he comes running. And guys, he said it with such confidence, I waited. I didn't even know, like, that's something that could never happen overseas. I can bet you money now. There's no one overseas who's like, Oprah, wait there! That's not a thing. This guy made me stop. Came running over. He was like, yo, Trevor, where Masakant? Yeah, but I can't believe it. This is most you, nah? This is most you. Yeah, it's you most, nah? Trevor Noah. And I was like, yeah, it's me. He's like, it's not you. I was like, no, it's me. He's like, nah, man, you're not Trevor. You look like Trevor Noah. I was like, I am Trevor Noah. He's like, it's not. I was like, okay, it's not. He's like, it's most you, Trevor Noah. Yeah, it was you. Why are you acting like it's not you? I was like, because you said it's not me. Are you trying to be funny here, Trevor? Nah? I can see you. Can I take a selfie there, Trevor? Can I take a selfie? I was like, yeah, let's take a selfie. He's like, okay. Yeah, let's take a selfie there. Let's take a selfie. I'm like, yeah, let's do it. He's like, you must do your phone there. I'm like, what? He's like, I've got a cock phone, Trevor. Take it with yours. You've probably got a nice phone, like an iPhone or something, but I'll take a picture there. I'm like, and then do what with it? He's like, you must put it there by your Instagram. Yeah, you must tag me. I also want the followers. I was like, yo, dude, let's just do it with your phone. He's like, Trevor, okay, let's take it there. But you mustn't laugh, ne? You mustn't laugh because I got a scam song. You must relax. Okay, we're going to take a picture, ne? Hold on. Let me just delete something here. Let me just delete some. I just need to make some space here. Let me just delete some pictures. Because I didn't think I was going to meet you today, no? I didn't prepare for this. Now I just got to see here. I can't now. That's my girlfriend there. I can't delete that one. This is my mom. This is another picture. This is a picture. You see this one? I'm trying to buy this golf, ne? You see there? It's a Mark II. You know Mark II? Yeah, it's a limited edition, this one. Yeah, check that there. Hey, brah, this is almost a nice one. Hold on. Okay. We got it. You ready? Okay, Trevor there. Yeah. Say cheese. And I was like, all right, cheers, man. He's like, Trevor. Yeah, bro. Look now. Look, you spoil the picture. I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, brah, you must wait. I'm like, wait for what? I heard the sound. He's like, bro, on this phone, the sound and the picture is different. It's two separate transactions. I'm like, dude, what are you talking about? He's like, you must wait. Just relax. I'll tell you when you can move, okay? I was like, okay, fine. Okay, let's do it. Then he's like, okay, you ready? Say cheese. And I'm like, there, cheese. Can we move? Don't move. Just wait. Just relax. Just stay there. Well, how long does that? Don't talk. You're gonna spoil the picture. Yeah, just pray someone doesn't phone now. But just wait. Okay, yeah, we got it. Nah, Trevor, why you don't smile, brah? Why you don't smile? Why you don't give me that TV smile? You see, you, Trevor, you mustn't ask me for a picture again. Yeah, man. That never happens to me anywhere in the world. Only here. Mzansi. South Africa. It's been a wonderful trip. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know how it's going to happen. There's never a dull moment in South Africa. Even just flying around the country has been exciting for me. It's been an injection of South Africa. That's what it's felt like. Just traveling around, particularly because the flying has changed, right? So I told my team in South Africa, I was like, hey, what's the plan? And they were like, well, they're like, who do you want to fly? How are we flying around the country? I said, we do the usual. We're going to fly with SAA. And then they were like, SAA, it's finished. I'm like, what do you mean it's finished? They're like, yeah, it's gone. SABC and SAA generations, all of it's gone. I'm like, what? What do you mean it's just finished? So how are we flying? They're like, well, you got to choose another one. I was like, well, you recommend. They're like, well, we could do like Fly Safair. I was like, all right, is it good? They're like, well, it's not great, but it's reliable. It'll get you where you need to go. I was like, what do you mean it's not great? They're like, well, they just make you pay for everything, and it's like it's very they just make it very efficient. I didn't realize how efficient. Yo, Fly Safair is on another level, guys. I don't know who's running that airline, but they're serious, eh? They don't waste time. They make sure they make their money. They make you pay for everything. Everything. Yeah, you buy the plane ticket. That's just the beginning of the transaction. Yeah, you want a specific seat, you pay. You want to bring a bag, you pay. Yeah, you want food on the plane, you pay. Yeah, you want to board early, you pay. Those people, they're finding everything, yeah? It's only a matter of time before you're on a Fly Safair flight, and 10 minutes before landing, they come up to your seat like, I'm sorry, sir, it looks like you didn't pay for the landing option. So we're gonna need you to jump out now, if you don't mind. You're like, yeah, but can I pay now? Sorry, sir, we don't take cards. I don't think I've ever been on an airline like Fly Safair. It was the most South African experience I could ever ask for. Everything was different. Everything. The flight was supposed to be 2 hours. flying to Cape Town. It took an hour 30. Everyone said it's normal. How? How? How are you getting to a place 30 minutes earlier? You're flying in a straight line, in the sky. How? People are like, oh, that's what happens with Fly Safe. No, what do you mean that's what happens? Doesn't that freak you out? So what's happening up there? Is the pilot taking shortcuts? He's just there, busy cutting. Yeah, cut here, double up. 10 by stratas, 10 by stratas. Everything on that flight is different. When you land and you get to the gate, you're not allowed to stand up. No one told me that. Yeah, I stood up by myself. I was there. Everyone around me was like, I was like, I want to get my bag. They're like, oh, you must wait. You must wait. Yo, guys, and the way people talk in that plane, it's almost like Flying Safe came with a shambok one day to everyone. Because not a single passenger. I sat back down, I'm like, what do you mean? They're like, you wait for Safe to say you can stand. You don't want to see them get angry. What did they do to you, South Africa? You can tell me. That whole flight was different. Oh, you know what was interesting? There was no recline button. Yeah, that was different. Yeah, there's no, you can't recline your seat. Yeah, the seat is there. And then I got into it. And then I was like, okay, let me relax. And then I was like, whoa, where's the, okay. And then, you know, sometimes you don't know where a thing is. So I was looking, I'm busy pulling things. I'm like, where is it? And this is something that could only happen in South Africa. There's this Indian guy sitting next to me. And he sees me, busy fidgeting around, sees me fidgeting. And at some point he turns and he's like, hey, Trevor, what's wrong there, man? And I said, no, man, I can't find the recline button. And without missing a beat, this man was like, oh, no, don't worry. They sell it there when you start flying. Yeah, they're going to bring it with the Pringles and the water and stuff. You can buy it. It's 55 Rand. Guys, he said it so seriously. And I'd paid for so many other things that I believed it. I was like, God damn, this airline is crazy. I was like, what an insane airline. I was like, they make you pay for the recline button? You know what an idiot I looked like when they came with that cart? They was pushing that cart down. I was like, and so what would you like? I was like, can I please have the recline button? I want to lean back. Everything on Fly Safe was fun. Everything. My favorite thing on Fly Safe is that it feels personal. That's what I like. You know, I feel like I'm on a South African airline and it feels personal, feels intimate. I feel like they're flying me, mostly because they look at me. You know, when they're making the announcements, you see who's making the announcements. That doesn't happen when you fly anymore. Flying has become so impersonal. You know, they just put down that video monitor and then you just watch a little safety video. You know, there's no warmth, there's no character. You've seen it probably when you travel, when you leave South Africa. You know, when you fly Emirates, you know, and then they'll be like, please watch the safety video. And then the video comes on.
شكرا خيلت ولا خيلت ورليلا إماراتي شكرا دايلا خطور ورليلا السلام عليكم مالك هرليلا ولا خطورتو تاجي إماراتي خديلا ولا خطيلا خا حبيبي لكرويا يلا يرتا خطر ولا ناتيكا إماراتي هجكورا خيلا محمد خليا لا بن صالح خدراينا أعطيك خليل بردينا برديا شكرا. Welcome to Emirates.
That's not personal. That's not for me. Fly Safe feels like it's custom made. You see the person, they take that telephone off the wall. On our flight, they had one person making the announcement and another person doing the actions. Yo, guys, I was having the time of my life. Because that woman took the phone off, she's like,
welcome, ladies and gentlemen, aboard this Fly Safe flight. Please pay attention to the following safety announcement. You will find the seatbelt will be fastened like this. And unfastened like this.
just to make that person feel like they were actually doing something worthwhile, I did it with them. When they were like, unfasten, I was like,
Please also note you will find a life vest under your seat in case of a water landing emergency. Place it over your head and pull the strips to inflate the jacket. If it does not inflate, you can blow into the red toggles on either side.
love it. It was interesting. It was unique. It felt like I was home. You know, the whole flying experience felt like, the only thing that doesn't feel unique is the pilots. That's what I've noticed, actually everywhere in the world. If you want to feel what a country's like, listen to the flight attendants, right? But then the pilots, no matter where you are all the same. It's almost like they went to the same school where they've been trained the same way to fly. They've all got that same sexy pilot's voice. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Like flight attendants can sound however they like. You know, they do that thing. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. No, there's no pilot like that. When pilots come on, they always do that thing of theirs. Boom.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Aboard this FlySafe flight. This is your captain, John Davies speaking, and I'm going to be taking you down. It's going to be approximately 2 hours. We're just waiting for the last few bags to get loaded, and we're going to be closing the doors, heading off shortly in a northeasterly direction. Taking to cruising.
Like, why are they always running out of breath? Is there a reason that pilots cannot complete one single sentence when they're making announcements? Every time that they're like,
We're going to be at a cruising altitude of 35,000 feet.
it always sounds like they're getting head in the cockpit. Can anybody tell me why? Why does it sound like every pilot is receiving immense amounts of pleasure and they can't get a single sentence out? Every single pilot. It's like someone started just before they started. They were there and they're like, no.
Welcome, everybody. Let me introduce you to your cabin crew on this flight. In the rear, we've got Tandeka, we've got John, and we've got Liesl who are going to be looking after you. Up front, my co-pilot, Mr. DeVette's going to be looking after us. Flight time should be not too long. Keep your seatbelts fastened in case of any unexpected turbulence. I'll let you know once it's safe to move around, but until, sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight.
Oh, FlySafe. Felt like home.
Love you, Trevor.
Ah, man, love you too. Thank you for coming. Thank you for being here. You don't understand how I miss this, guys. You know, how I miss doing shows back home, how I miss being home, you know, watching the news, talking to people, getting a sense of what's happening. You know, there's nothing like being in the country, feeling it. You know, because I like when I was coming back, I was like, I wonder if is it going to be the same? Is it going to have changed? Will I still understand? And then, look, 99% of it, I still understand. The 1% I've realized is because I was away for too long. Yeah, because the country moves in a direction. Right? That's just what happens. And the longer you're away, the less you move with the people. I've noticed that in small things. I need to catch up to where South Africans are in certain things. You know, one of them being load shedding. Yeah, no, I'm behind when it comes to load shedding. Yeah, because when I left South Africa, when I left, like load shedding was like 1 hour, maybe every few weeks. Do you know that type of thing? And now when I come back, they're like, it's stage 6. And I'm like, is this Mario Brothers? I didn't even know. Just every single day. Tlangan, tlangan, tlangan. And the reason I know I'm behind, is because I still react to load shedding. That's it, I react. I've noticed South Africans, you don't flinch anymore. Nothing. Now when the lights go out, I'm the only idiot who's like, load shedding. And you see people around me like, oh, where's this guy from? He doesn't even know load shedding. Welcome to the future, buddy. What an idiot. South Africans have had load shedding for so long now that I don't know if you've noticed this, but you've started becoming load shedding connoisseurs. You know, I've heard conversations where people are talking about load shedding, and they'll be talking about their favorite load shedding. People be sitting there and they'll be like, you know, I'm not gonna lie, my favorite load shedding easily is like 2 a.m. to 6 a.m. That's like the best load shedding. That's when you want load shedding, eh? Because like you're already asleep, right? It doesn't bother anything, it doesn't mess anything up. That's like the best load shedding ever. People are there fighting. No, I think 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. Guys, you're crazy. No, that's the best. Let me tell you the best. My favorite load shedding. Guys, you can't have your favorite bad thing. Are you kidding me? How long has this been going for that you're like, this is my favorite? You can't have a favorite bad thing. That's like someone being like, yeah, my favorite plane crash. My favorite plane crash is the one that goes like this. That's my favorite one. My favorite load shedding. It's ridiculous. People have moved, people have changed. There's dynamics I don't understand. I'm trying to get used to it. For instance, the last time I was doing shows here, when load shedding would hit, the lights would just go out, and that would be it. Like when you were at a shop, the lights would go out, and that was that. And then now everyone has generators. And so now there's a pause, but I didn't know about this. And I've noticed that the lights go out, and when they do, everyone in South Africa just stands where they are. And then when the lights come on, they carry on. Yeah. That's weird. At least have fun in the load shedding. Huh? There's a moment of darkness. Make it exciting, make it creative. I've started figuring out some things. You know, like at the Checkers that's next to my house, what I do is whenever I'm shopping there, I know that the load shedding, between the load shedding and the generator kicking in, it's 45 seconds. So what I'll do is, if the load shedding hits in that 45 seconds, I'll just take boxes off the shelf and I just stack them into like a tower, and then I'll step away from it. Then when the lights come back, it's like, I'm like, Kibuloi. I just try and make things interesting. Because there's things that you have to understand. There's things that are different now. One of the weirdest ones for me, happened when I needed to get new appliances for my house, right? So I needed to get like kettles and toasters and all those small things. And so I went, right? I was going to at home. I was at home. No, I was at. They must change the name of that shop because you can't. How do you say it? Because you can't say I was at home because then it seems like I was ekaya. So you were at home, but that doesn't sound grammatically. They should have just called it home and we say the at. Anyway, I was by that shop, né? And so I'm there busy shopping for appliances. And while we're shopping, everything's normal, everything's not. And about at 5 to 2, one of the employees walks out from behind the cash register. And she's like, ladies and gentlemen, please stay where you are. Ladies and gentlemen, please stay where you are. And I'm there like, did we win something? And then without missing a beat, the security guards at home closed the doors, and then they locked the gate. And then they stood in front of the door. And then the staff came and stood with them. And then they just looked at us. Now, I don't know what's happening. South Africans who've been here know exactly what's going on. I just saw people lock the gates, block the entrance, and stare at me like they're challenging me. So in my head, I'm like, oh, this is Squid Game. I'm like, things have gotten so bad in South Africa that now you have to fight your way out of a shop. Like literally, while they're staring at me, all I'm thinking in my head is, and then the lights go out. And they come back. And she's like, thank you very much, everybody. You can continue. And then they open the shop. And then everyone just carried on, like nothing happened. Everyone was just there, doing their thing. I was stunned. I'm looking at everybody like this. So I go to the counter. Hello, guy. See the guy's name tag. I'm like, Eta, how's it, my man? Tabo, ne? He's like, sure. I'm Trevisto. how are you, my brother? I'm like, I'm grand, buena. He's like, I'm good, my man, I'm good. Sure. How can I help you? I was like, Tibos, what happened? What just happened? He's like, where? Everywhere, Tabo. Everywhere. What just happened everywhere? You just locked the shop, looked like you were threatening us, and now everything's gone back to normal. He's like, oh, hey, son. No, Trevor, it's because of the load shedding. I'm like, no, Angitsi, that doesn't explain anything. What happened? He's like, hey, you haven't been here for long, ne? So you see, Trevor, ne? Because of load shedding, what started happening, ne, was some of the customers, ne, they started realizing that when the load shedding hits, ne, the sensor there by the door, it's not working. You see? So then, those customers started coming just before load shedding. Then they were filling their trolley, just filling it up. We were even watching like, we are doing well today. These people, it's not even month end. They were filling the trolley. Then they were standing by the door. Then the lights was just going, zoo. Then these ones were, bah. Then the lights was coming back, zoo. Then the shelves were empty. It was like a magic trick, Trevor. Yeah, then the owner of the shop came. They didn't believe us when we told them what happened because the camera rate was also off because of load shedding. Then they said we are the ones who stole it. And because we are responsible for stock control, we decided as the staff, we are going to do something about it. So now, when we see it's going to be load shedding, 5-2, we just close the door and we lock. And then we just stand there where we can see each other. Yeah. Does it make sense? I was like, Tabo, not only does it make sense, but this has instantly become my favorite shoplifting story of all time. Are you like the ingenuity of South Africans? Huh? To have the idea, to think of that. That's easily my favorite shoplifting story. Easily. Because I love shoplifting stories. I love them. I love reading about them. You know, hearing how people try to shoplift or like shoplifting syndicates. I'm always intrigued by how people do it. One of my favorites actually, started during COVID in the United States. Right? There was a lot of shoplifting and it evolved when COVID ended, it continued. What somebody discovered was that there's a hack with the sensors at the front of the shop, okay? And so somebody discovered that if you have an item that has a tag on it, right? You know, the metal tag on clothes or, you know, the little sticker. We all know what happens when you walk past the sensor, it beeps. Beep, 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 beep. Beep, 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 beep. Even if you hide it. Beep, 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 beep. Right? We all know how it works. But then somebody discovered that if you have the item and then you shake, it doesn't beep. I swear on my life. Guys, it went viral on TikTok. People started doing it. You must try it. You must try it. No, I'm not saying you must steal, guys. I'm not saying you must steal. I'm saying go to a shop, pay for something. When you've got the receipt, tell them, please don't take off the tag. I want to try something. But you must have your receipt because I don't want you guys blaming me now. Just try it. Take the tag, go to the door and shake. It doesn't beep. That used to be my favorite story. Because it's true and because it caused chaos. Yeah, stores in America started losing stock. They didn't know what was happening. Because they were like, what's happening? Nothing's beeping. You know? And they were like, is there anything strange going on? They're like, no, some people are just shaking when they leave. But we don't know what it is. I was like, that's something that could never happen in South Africa. Like, yeah, South African security guards, they don't play those games. Because one of the parts that made the story extra special in America was that some security guards didn't want to stop people from leaving the store shaking because they didn't want to offend anybody who might be shaking for other reasons. Yeah, and then they didn't want to offend people, but here, there's no one who's afraid of offending anybody. Which you think there's a security who's scared of wokeness? Ah. In South Africa, here, the security guard, he'll just look at you and be like, hey, stop shaking, wana. Hey, susheka apa. Hey. So that used to be my favorite story, by far. Until what I learned at home. Because here's the thing I want to know about this. Who was the first? Eh? Every story has a beginning. Who was that pioneer at home who discovered a flaw in the system and then took advantage of it? Who was that person shopping with their family, buying things for the house, pushing the trolley around, casually, just there like, no, don't get a breadboard, get a breadboard, get a knife there as well, yeah, but get a knife set as well, obviously you want to buy. No, did you get, Dinesh, you got the kettle? No, why are you getting Brabantia there? Why are you getting Brabantia? We don't need Brabantia, right? That's expensive. Don't just get a cheap one there. Yeah, it's for your mother-in-law. Relax. Bring there. Yeah, put it in, right? No, because we got to get all the things right for the house warming. And then what we're going to do? Boom, damn it, the load shedding. Oh, the trolley. Hey, damn it. Hey, the trolley went out the shop there. For a moment, I thought... Hey, Suresh. Did you hear that? No, I didn't hear nothing. Exactly. Bring a PlayStation there. I want to meet that pioneer. You guys don't believe me, go and shake, you'll see. South Africans, truly, load shedding has changed everything. And I mean, it was bound to happen. When you have that much load shedding, people are going to start, they're going to start adapting to it, right? Hedonic adaptation, it's what happens. When you're in any situation for long enough, you start to adapt to that situation and it becomes the new norm. That's what's happened in South Africa. Because now it's like, stage 6 load shedding. You're like, what? It's wild. The wildest load shedding I experienced was 4 hours in the morning and then again 4 hours at night. I'm sorry, guys. Can we have an agreement? Can we just make an agreement here in South Africa? And let's just say, at some point, we can't keep calling it load shedding. Yeah, because load shedding implies that there is a load that needs to be shed. But now, if there is more shedding than load, we have to find another name, right? It's like it's misleading now. Like at some point, we're gonna have to name it by the time where there is electricity, not by the time where there isn't electricity. You know what I mean? Yeah, at some point, you're just gonna be like, it's time for power hour.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Power Hour. That 1 hour in the day when you get electricity to use all of your appliances. Our number one contestant for today is Tembi. Tembi, what are you going to be doing with your 1 hour of electricity?
I'm gonna be using my blender to make a smoothie.
Ha ha, Tembi, that's it, Power Hour. Proudly brought to you by Escom.
Oh man. Oh. By the way, what is Cyril doing about the load shedding? No, I ask because I've been trying to find out, and I can't find any information on it. He used to give press conferences every day during COVID, and then now he's gone. What is he doing? Do you know? Because I can't find nothing. He's doing nothing? That's an interesting approach. It's a really interesting one. I'll be honest, man, I don't know how to feel about Cyril's presidency. I don't know how to feel about Cyril's presidency. Because he was promised as the person who would bring consistency, all right? I didn't know it would be like consistent load shedding. And it's crazy when you think of how it began. You know, when Cyril became president, South Africans were ecstatic. It reverberated around the world. Newspapers would report, is this the turning point for South Africa? People in the streets here were so happy. They called it Ramaphoria. Remember that? They said it was Ramaphoria. I saw him in Cape Town walking along the promenade. People were cheering for him. He was taking pictures with babies. And then now, you come back a few years later, those babies are deleting their pictures. I feel like Cyril is the most disappointing president this country's ever had. Honestly, I feel like Cyril is the most disappointing president this country has ever had. Not the worst president, not the worst president, the most disappointing president. There's a difference. There's a difference, yeah. Because we all know who the worst president was. Yeah. Hendrik Verwoerd. But Cyril is the most disappointing. The reason I say disappointing is because disappointment lives in the gap between expectation and reality. Cyril came in at the highest level of expectation. And now we're sitting here in a reality that's so far from what we expected. You know? Whereas with Zuma, say what you want about Zuma. Say what you want about Jacob Zuma. We weren't disappointed. We were shocked, but we weren't disappointed. Because remember, guys, that guy came in with a shower. Don't forget that, eh? He kicked things off with a shower, so no one can be like, oh, I can't believe what happened. Hey. From the very beginning, we were like, okay, this guy's coming with action and personality, eh? From the very get-go, Zuma came in with a shower. He came in dancing and smiling. We were like, all right, this is what we're going to be in for a ride. And that's exactly what we got. That's exactly what we just didn't expect that degree, you know? If you think of it this way, it's like South Africa is a car. If you think of South Africa like a car, the president is the person driving that car. We're all the passengers. You know, we're there, we're paying for the petrol, we're paying for the maintenance, all of it, and the president's driving. You know, and when Zuma came in, we could see, hey man, this guy, you know, it's gonna be interesting. You know, and he came in there, I'm ready to drive. And everyone there was like, Jacob, are you drunk? And he was like, no, I'm wasted. And he got in that car and he drove it like it's never been driven before. He crashed into everything. He broke every speed limit. At some point, he started selling the parts to the Guptas. Take the battery, we don't need it. And then finally, South Africans had enough. Jacob got kicked out of the car. We were all looking at it there, barely surviving. And then we're like, who's the next driver gonna be? Who can drive this car next? And the DA was like, we can drive. And we're like, we're not ready yet. Yeah, it's too soon. Cyril, are you gonna drive? And Cyril was like, yes, I can drive the car. And we're like, wait, Cyril, are you drunk? And Cyril was like, no, I don't even drink. And we were like, oh, wow, okay. All right, here you go. And he got in the car. But what we didn't know is that he only had a learner's license. Because he sat in that driver's seat, he put his seatbelt on, he looked down and he was like, whoa, it's a manual. It looks like we're gonna learn together. Because I'm sorry, man, I just feel like sometimes Cyril he just lacks conviction. You know, that's what it is. I think that's what a lot of people feel. It feels like he lacks conviction. He'll come out and be like, I'm gonna fight corruption, I'm gonna fight it. And it's like, are you fighting it though? You know, it doesn't feel like you fight. Like if you're gonna fight corruption, fight corruption. And if you're gonna be corrupt. You know, just lukewarm. Like even his scandal, even Phala, what was that? Huh? What kind of scandal was that? Guys, come on, man. What kind of scandal? Not nuclear weapons, you know? Not giant contract, no. Buffalo. Guys, do you understand how my friends in America roasted me when that story came out? That was a tough day in my life. When the newspapers overseas said South Africa, they said South Africa's president in trouble for buffalo. My friends loved it. Came up to me in the office, they're like, dude, Trevor, so you guys have buffalo scandals in South Africa? I was like, yeah, it's not like a normal. He's like, dude, you have buffalo scandals? Dude, like what is that like a thing out there? You guys like love buffalo? I was like, no, we don't just love buffalo. Dude, you love buffalo. South Africans just, you love buffalo. You guys probably have like buffalo on your money. I was like, no, That scandal was terrible. Phala. What was that? They found 11 million rand. They said that Cyril had 11 million rands worth of dollars in his couch. In his couch. What kind of couch was that? It must have been an L shape, eh? 11 million rands worth of dollars in cash. And then the office of the presidency said he didn't know. He didn't know. So he's never dropped the remote. Not even once, just like, hey son, yo. I don't know what was worse, the scandal or the way the office of the presidency responded to South Africans about the scandal. It was insulting at times, right? At first they were like, this is completely normal. There's nothing to see here. Completely normal. What are you talking about? They're like, yeah, no, you can have some money in your couch. Yeah, maybe 7 rand, guys. Then they went on to say, South Africans must calm down. Cyril just has other businesses. that he also does. Other businesses. I don't know about you, but I'm not comfortable hearing that my president has side hustles. You're the president of a country. Why are you doing anything else? It's not like you need spare time. There's no electricity. What do you mean you're doing other things? Are you kidding me? That doesn't make me feel safe. Guys, if I'm on a flight, the last thing I want to see is the pilot coming out of the cockpit like, yeah, Nick next. Ah, Nick next. Ah, pecan pies, mama. Ah, pecan pies. Ah, Nick next. I'm like, yo, why aren't you flying the plane? Ah, you never know, Baba. Pack up plane. Are you kidding me? They're like, Cyril has many jobs. How many jobs? Are we just gonna find out by surprise? Huh? One day I'm gonna open my Uber app and I'll just see Cyril is on the way. You're like, this guy takes Tumamina seriously, eh? That whole scandal, man, all of it. The load shedding and Cyril and but I'll still choose this country. I still choose South Africa every day. I'll tell you that now. Sometimes people will say to me, they'll be like, oh, Trev, you lucky, you got out. Oh, you got out, bro, you're lucky. First of all, I didn't get out. You make it sound like I escaped. I left to go and work. I always come back. People go like, you got out, right? You got out. Make it like I was in the plane, like, go, they're coming, don't let them see me. Go. I love this country. I love South Africa more than anything in the world. It's in my bones. It's in the way I was raised. It's in the languages I speak. And I'll be honest, nothing makes me sadder than the way some people talk about the country. I don't judge them, by the way, because I understand. But, you know, like sometimes people will walk up to me and they think it's going to be like something we'll share. They'll be like, Trevor, South Africa it's terrible. It's the worst country in the world. Huh? Trevor, this country is rubbish. It's the worst. It's terrible. There's nothing worse than this. I'm like, look, I understand that you're frustrated, but like, be mindful of your words. This is far from the worst country in the world. It's far from it. Right? If there's one thing I hope people would realize is when you give up, that's when it truly fails. Right? It is not the worst country in the world. In my opinion, it is a great country that's going through one of the worst periods in its time. There's a difference. You can have a great country going through a bad time. It doesn't mean that it's now a bad country. We've got so many things to hope for. We've got so many things to work for, people. Are you kidding me? And then people will come to me, they'll be like, yeah, but Trev, it's easy for you to say, bro, but look at the looting and the riots. Yeah, guys, there's looting and riots in every country around the world. It happens when there's a lack of service delivery. You will see it anywhere. America was burning down at some point. Paris is burning every few weeks. Huh? Every few weeks. Have you seen them? And the French are angry. Petrol bombs everywhere. J'ai trop de les pattes de croissant dessus. Allez, de quoi la merde. C'est trop du futur. Yes, I know they also loot and riot in South Africa, but at least here in South Africa, when they loot, they smile. That way I know it's not personal. They're shaking things up. One of my favorite lootings I ever saw was on the news. There was this guy who looted a TV. He looted a TV, guys. And it was a short guy, and he was running with the TV, and just like, yeah. And you could see he was having the best day ever. Yeah. And while he was running with the TV, another guy came who was bigger than him and grabbed the TV. And he was like, And then the big guy took the TV. And then he ran away with it, gone. And this little guy, I've never seen a human have so many emotions in 30 seconds. Yeah. 30 seconds earlier, this guy was in heaven. He was there running with his new TV like, yeah, where's the police? 30 seconds later, he was like, where's the police? I'll take it any day of the week. People be like, yeah, you know, you say that, Trevor, you say that. You say that. Yeah, but what about the crime? What about the crime, Trevor? Huh? Yes, I admit it, the crime is terrible. It's out of control. We have to do something about it. We have to fight against it, you know? But the thing that gives me hope is that it's a problem that has a solution. Economists have shown time and time again around the world that when there's a high rate of crime, it is often tied to a high rate of unemployment. And so if you work to fix that unemployment, you are then solving the problem of crime. They've shown this time and time again. It is not an easy problem to fix, but it is fixable. People are like, oh yeah, but you're in America, bro, you're lucky. You know, you don't even have crime. It's like, okay, first of all, there is crime. And second of all, there's something else that we don't have in South Africa, mass shootings. Yeah, that's the craziest thing ever. Just randomly, you're in a room, in a public space, anywhere. Someone comes in, giant gun, starts shooting. 10 people, 20 people, 50 people, 100 people, dead. Why? Nobody knows. Imagine that. Now you're dead. You don't know why. Just getting into heaven. I know they're both terrible, guys, but for me, I'll choose crime, eh? No, because even with crime, at least there's a moment where I know there's hope, where I can be like, okay. But let me take my SIM card and delete my browser history. I'll choose South Africa any day of the week. These are things I think about. I have to think about them. Because now, I've lived in America for so long that they say that soon I'm going to be given a US passport. Right? You say woo because you don't know what it comes with. Tandaga, you're clapping already. Yay! Didn't even ask about terms and conditions. Because I read the terms and conditions of having an American passport. There are many things that I don't like. First and foremost, I will have to be subject to the American legal system. Yeah. I'm not enthusiastic about that, I'm not gonna lie. Because I never planned to do anything wrong in America. But in the back of my head, I always thought if something was to be done by me, I felt good knowing they would have to deport me. They would be like, you're guilty, you're deported. And I'll be like, no. And then I'll come home and be like, Maracas, you must know, South Africa, you guys know, you know what happens. Sometimes, man, you never know. Why did Rihanna leave her iPhone like that? No, but I seriously don't want to be involved in the American justice system. Because they say it's justice, but it's terrifying. You don't know how they'll treat you. You don't know why they'll treat you. The scariest part for me is what happens in courts. Because they have a jury system in America. I'm terrified of that. Terrified of it. For those who don't know, I'm sure you've seen it on TV, but for those who don't know, the American system is very different to the South African one. In South Africa, you have the judge, you have the prosecution, and you have the defense. Right? That's who your case is working with, and the judge decides. The judge has studied, they're learned, they know what's going on. And you can talk to them on their side. I'm joking. But I like knowing that person had to go to school to figure out whether I broke the law. In America, it's a different system. They have a judge, they have a prosecution, and they have a defense, but they also have a jury. A jury. 12 people who are randomly gathered, randomly picked, who decide your fate. These people do not need to have studied the law. They don't need to understand the law. They don't even need to have watched Law and Order. Now they're deciding your fate. Clan, clan. I don't want that in my life. Yeah, I don't want that, and I don't want to be on a jury either. That's what comes with getting an American passport. You now have to be on a jury. I don't want to be on a jury. You know why? Because I'm South African. Yeah, and you're probably wondering, what does that mean? I'll tell you what it means. I read the rules of being on a jury, and I realized South Africans can never be on a jury. Yeah, because there's certain rules when you're on a jury. One of the most important rules right at the top of the list is if you are on a jury, if you're serving on a jury, you may not express your feelings or emotions about anything that is happening during the case. You may not talk about it, and you may not, during the case at any time on the trial, you may not on the bench, you may not say anything. Anything, yeah, when the jury is standing, like you can't express, you can't do anything. South Africans, immediately disqualified. You tell me which South African is gonna be able to sit there during a trial, hiding all their emotions. Which South African? That case is gonna be going on. Bah, bah. Prosecution can start. Thank you, Your Honor. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, this man burned down his home for the insurance money. Ah. Pa, pa, pa. Order, order. The jury shall be silent, completely silent. Oh, sorry, sorry. You insurance, you. Mr. Michaels, where were you the night of the fire?
I was walking. I wasn't at my house.
You weren't anywhere near the house?
No, I wasn't.
Then tell me, Mr. Michaels, why did your clothes smell like gasoline? I didn't talk. And can you imagine a South African jury deciding your case? You would never know which way the verdict would go. The judge would be there. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, have you got your verdict? We have, Your Honor. How do you find? We find the defendant guilty. Okay, and why is that? He didn't greet. Yeah, he just came in here. Well, nothing, no greeting, nothing. Yeah, magaham. I choose South Africa every day of the week. You know when I realized this, when it solidified in my mind, was when someone asked me a really personal question. Someone said to me, Trevor, if you have kids, where would you like them to be brought up? And this was honestly one of the toughest questions ever, because I was like, wow, actually I've never thought about that. If I had children, where would I want them to be brought up? And honestly, all I could think, no lying, no nothing, I was like, I would want them to be brought up in South Africa. I would want them to grow up in a country where you have multiple cultures, in a country where you have multiple languages, in a country where you understand that there are other ways to be, in a country where there's diversity in terms of thought, in terms of food. I would want them to understand what it's like to be in a country where, like, I would want them to live here. I would want them to know here. And then I went down a spiral. I was like, wow, what would I want? Why would I would want my kids to be South African. Like I realized I want my kids to have the same ice cream truck music that I grew up with. Which I didn't even know was a thing. I didn't know this. Did you know that the ice cream truck music is different in every country? I didn't know this. I just assumed. Yeah, till I went, and there I was in America, they've got different ice cream trucks driving around and stay. Yeah, and then you go to Europe, you'll be in some random country, they've got their own music and the ice cream truck is like I don't want that for my kids. When my kids are getting ice cream, I don't want that jolly music playing. I want happy music. When my kids are about to get ice cream, I want there to be suspense. I want it to sound like the beginning of a horror movie. I want that thrill when the truck turns around the corner. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Bum, 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 bum. That's what I want for my kids. Why do I want them to grow up in this country? There's so many reasons. You know why I want my kids to be South African? Because I want my kids to have grit. I want them to have texture. You take for granted what a child growing up in South Africa learns. You take for granted what they have to go through. It makes you something special, you know? It polishes you, a diamond from the rough. There's something of like, you know, I realized this one day. I was in the street in Brooklyn, right outside of New York City, right? And I'm sitting outside. It's a beautiful, beautiful day. And I'm in the street, and there's these kids playing baseball, right? And I'm watching these kids while they're playing. Well, I wasn't like watching them. I just saw them, you know? And no, like I wasn't like they were just there. And I was looking in that direction. In fact, I was looking first, and then they came and started playing while I was looking there. So like they're the ones with the problem. Anyway, so the kids were there, and they were playing baseball, right? And having like a really great time. The one kid pitches the ball, hits it, runs around. The other one comes, hits the ball, and then one kid pitched the ball, and the kid bats it and hits it, and it flew into a car window on the side, and the window cracked. And the kid who hits it was like, and then the kid who threw the ball, he was like, and then the other kids who were just standing around, they were like, and then soon it was 10 kids all crying at different times. I can't have children like that. One broken window, 10 children crying. Guys, that'll never happen in South Africa. What is the point of that? I remember what it was like growing up. We'd be outside in the streets playing. Everyone was there busy with the soccer ball. Busy having some fun playing diski. Someone would kick that ball too hard. Ball would fly over the wall, hit someone's window. And the thing I love is South African windows always act like they're not gonna break. And then the kid who kicked the ball, they'd look and they'd be like, and the rest of us would see what is about to happen. We'd know. We understand why our friend is terrified. They're in more trouble than they've ever been in their lives. But we wouldn't cry. What is our crying going to help our friend? No. We would be there. We would look over into our friend's eyes. We'd stare at them and we'd be like, I love banana. You broke the window. They're gonna hit you. They're gonna kill you. And then we'd take the ball and be like, see you tomorrow. Those are the kids I want. That's why I want South African children. You kidding me? And the most important reason I want to have children that are South African is because I want children who have culture and respect. Culture and respect. You take that for granted as a South African. The way we treat each other, even in the toughest times, you take it for granted because you're here. But guys, South Africans, we're truly a cut above the rest. Like, you think I'm wrong. You think I'm lying. Go, walk anywhere in public where there are other South Africans. Fall flat on your face. Pa! Tell me there's no South African there who will feel your pain. You'll fall. Bah! They'll all be there like, sorry. Ooh, sorry. Ach, shame, man. Ach, nee, man. Ach, shame. Ach, fooi toch, man. Ach, shame. You know that doesn't happen overseas. Yeah. There's a lot of countries around the world where no one cares about what happens to you if they don't know you. I saw this firsthand in New York. I was walking through the street, and there was this old lady who just come back from grocery shopping, and she was carrying her bag. And this lady was old, guys. Like old. Like old. Like old. You're not like old. Like old. Like she was knocking. You know what I mean? Like old. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, like even where like the angel of death was there walking with her like, anytime I know I'll just be here in case. Like old. I'm talking about old. You know when you're so old, every morning you wake up shocked, like, I'm still here. Like that old. And this little old lady was walking with her bag. She had a little plastic bag with groceries. And as she got to the middle of the street, the bag burst. And all the vegetables that were inside her bag scattered on the ground. And vegetables, you all know, is the worst thing to drop. Yeah, because nothing runs like vegetables, eh? Have you seen vegetables when you drop them out of a packet? They go in every direction, like they know you were gonna murder them. Guys, they're gone. Those vegetables, especially onions. Have you seen onions? They land and they're like... Guys, these vegetables were strewn in every direction. Nobody stopped to help this lady. No one cared. People made it seem like she inconvenienced them. They were hopping over it, looking at her, judging her. I was the only one who felt bad. I went, I started gathering up the vegetables, started picking them. As I picked them up, this old lady turned and she looked at me and she was like, "Hey! Hey, don't touch my vegetables, you asshole! Put those down, you piece of shit!" And I was like, "Yo, sorry." I don't want that for my kids. I want them to grow up in a culture where there's respect and care. Respect being one of the key ones. I've been traumatized by children in America. They do whatever they want when they want. Honestly, guys, I've met many American children. They're demons, eh? Demons. Abo Satan. I'll tell you a story. One day, I was in a movie theater, minding my own business, watching a movie. Next thing I know, this kid starts kicking my chair. Right? Now, I don't know what's happening at first. I'm just sitting there minding my own business, and all of a sudden I feel the chair start shaking. So I'm like, oh, is this a 4D movie? And then I'm like, no, man, Barbie's not 4D. And then I realized no one else is shaking around me. So I turn and I look and then I see these little feet kicking the chair. And so I turn and I'm like, hey, excuse me, hey, what are you doing? And this kid is sitting there and he just looks at me. I'm like, what are you doing? And then, like a seat away, his dad is there. And he turns and he's like, what happened? Hey, did something happen? I'm like, is this your son? He's like, yeah, what did something happen? I'm like, yeah, so your son is kicking my chair. He's like, what? Mikey, are you kicking the man's chair? Then I'm like, oh, why are you asking? I just told you he's kicking my chair. Why are you asking Mikey? Obviously, Mikey's being accused of something. You should just, you think I'll just turn around in a movie to just, anyway. He's like, did you kick the man's chair? And Mikey just looks at his dad like this. He's like, Mikey, you don't kick people's chairs. That's not nice. Say sorry to the man. Say sorry. Mikey just looks at me. And he's like, yeah, all right. You're good. Sorry about that, man. It won't happen again. I'm like, okay, I guess something happened. Turn around, I sit back in my chair, start eating my popcorn. So now I'm like, aha, it's gonna come now. Because if your parent warns you, I know, hey. So now I'm like, yeah, keep kicking, Mikey. Keep kicking, Mikey. Any moment now. You've been warned, Mikey. Then I'm like, hey, what's happening now? How come Mikey's not getting anything? Why is Mikey still? So then I turn around, I'm like, hey, Mikey, what are you doing, dude? Stop that. And the dad turns again, he's like, was he doing it again? Was he doing that? Hey, Mikey, that is not cool. I spoke to you about this, Mikey. That is not cool, Mikey. Time out. All right, sorry about that. We're good. I was like, I can see what Mikey's not changing. Nothing's. He's like, we're good. So now I sit. Now I know what's going to happen. I'm not an idiot. So I make my back hard. I wait. Mikey first kick. He's like, I jump up. I'm like, Mikey. Dad's like, I'm sorry, man. I don't know what to do. I'm like, you don't know what to do. You don't know what to do. I'm like, Elena, something. And then I realized he couldn't do anything. And Mikey knew it. Mikey looked at his dad like this dad couldn't do anything to him. He looked at me like I couldn't do anything to him. I even tried to take it into my own hands. I looked at Mikey, I was like, Mikey, stop it. And Mikey was just like, then I tried every South African trick, guys. Every South African trick. I looked at Mikey and I was like, and then Mikey looked at me and Mikey was like, shut up. And I was like, I can't do anything. And so I turned and I looked at Mikey. And Mikey looked at me and I was like, you know what, Mikey? Pose. That day terrified me in a way I wasn't ready for. I'm not ready to have children like that. Because here's something I want you to understand. I do not want to ever hit my children, ever. I don't believe that anyone should hit their children. I honestly don't. But, I also don't want to raise a child who thinks it's impossible, for this side of a hand to meet this side of a face. I need the kids to know that there's consequences in the world, even if it's not from me. I promise you no. I don't want my kids, I don't want to hit my kids. I don't want to. But I don't want them to know that I don't want to. Yeah. There must just be a little tension in the house, just for control. Because now can you imagine I've just got some American kids who don't respect me at all. The house is chaos. No one can do anything. They're breaking things, smashing things. I'm like, stop that. Hey, stop that. Stop that. Are you listening to me? Yes, Trevor. Trevor? I'm daddy. Trevor, I'm daddy when now. Trevor, you call me Trevor. I'm daddy. Trevor. Daddy. Trevor. Can you imagine that happening? Yo, guys, I wouldn't even know what to do. That would be the one time in my life when I would wish to be in South Africa in that moment. Not that I want it to happen, but I would just wish for that moment that I could be back in South Africa, instantly teleported, there with this little kid. I'd look at him and be like, what did you say? Trevor! Come here, buddy, come here. Can I tell you something? What? You see there? You see the time? It's 1:55. That means in 5 minutes, the electricity is gonna cut. And when that happens, you're gonna know me. Because it's gotten insane. It has gotten absolutely insane. And South Africans have adapted. South Africans have adapted. You don't even realize how much you've adapted because you are you the whole time. But as somebody who's seeing you coming back, I'm like, guys, there's a level of resilience that South Africans have now that I wasn't used to. Really. You know where you truly notice it? You notice it at the traffic lights. That's where I've seen the biggest change. That's where I've seen the biggest change. You know? Because when I left, there was one thing I knew and one thing I knew for certain. South Africans know what to do when the traffic lights are not working. That's something I would have bet all my money on. Why? Because we learned about it. You knew it when you did your K53, right? If you actually did your K53. They taught us in that lesson. When a traffic light is not working, you treat it as a four-way stop. It was very simple. These cars go like this. Those ones go like this. These ones, then these ones. These ones, then these ones. It worked like a charm. Then load shedding Stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, 4, 5, 6. Ha! Have you been at the traffic lights now? Guys, I didn't know what was going on, I did not know what was going on. It's like Mad Max out there. It's like the apocalypse. Literally, you just get there. Everyone's there at the same time. Vroom, vroom, vroom. Everyone there like, go, go. You'll see. Some people don't even stop. You have no clue what's going on. None whatsoever. It's wild. One day I was in four ways. I drove to a traffic light that was out, and I see it from far. I'm like, okay, the traffic lights are not working. I'm driving, I'm getting ready. As I get there, a homeless guy jumps out. I had no clue what was happening. All I see is this homeless guy, and then other ones jumped out. They're all standing there, and then they started directing traffic, and then I don't know what's going on. So all I was thinking, I was like, yo, damn, these outsurance guys have fallen, Yes. Then I realized it was homeless guys, and they were doing an amazing job, guys. They were doing a phenomenal job. They were pulling the cars, telling people when to turn, doing what. People were putting 10 rand out the window as they were driving past. They were grabbing it, keeping everybody moving. People were listening. So many people were listening. I could not believe it. One day, you know what blew my mind? We're driving, get to the traffic lights. Everybody stops. Then a police car comes. Whoa, and stops. Literally, the homeless guy was like, and the police car was like, And now I thought the police are gonna get out and do something about the traffic lights. So I looked at them, and then I'm like, you could see the police were there like, he's working. Yambona now, uyasebenza lo muntu. And then they just sat there with all of us. Waited for the homeless guy. Then he was like, and then the cops were like, sharp. Everything has changed. Everything. But the one thing I'm not used to yet is the chaos. I don't know when to go. I don't know who goes when now. Some people are turning while other people are going straight. Then you're between each other. Everyone's hooting. Beep, 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 even taxi drivers are on the side like, guys, guys, this is not safe, guys. Man. If everybody's a taxi driver, then who is a taxi driver, guys? Guys. That's our thing, man. This is cultural appropriation. You know who's truly toughened up over the last few years? Who's truly toughened up the most? White women. I know all South Africans have gotten tougher, but white women, I am the most proud of you. When I was last doing shows in South Africa years ago, white women were fragile. They were brittle. Any change in direction would crack them. You would see, have you ever seen, you'd see white women back in the days, things would go wrong. They'd be like, I just can't, I just can't. I mean, like, you're living in a country where I swear to God, it's just, because I was driving today and they just cut you off. And you're at the robots and you've got these guys knocking on the window. I just can't. Zuma must go. I can't. I can't do this. I can't. It's too much. It's just too much. It's too much. And the chickens at Nando's have gotten smaller. I don't know what I can't. White women were brittle. And then I don't know what happened over the past few years. But they have toughened up. They have truly toughened up. It's almost like these white ladies were in their garages training every day. Because have you seen white women at the traffic lights now? Have you seen white women during load shedding at the traffic lights? You better pray to your God when you meet them, They're taking no prisoners. White women now, they've turned into the new taxi drivers, guys. You'll see them driving in during load shedding, peak traffic. They pull in there with their Hyundai Sonata. They've got their arm out the window, accepting any challenger. They're there driving in. You think you're gonna cut them off? Beep beep. They're like, futsek wena. Nga zongi hutela wena. Aponi kutinga driver la wena. Futsek. Beep beep nawe. Hey, futsek nonke. Hey, ninga zongchela. I'm driving here. Papela mina nyon dupula nonke. Nombulala nonke ninam sunweni. Wow! These white ladies are getting home to their husbands. You know, they're there in the kitchen like, "Hi, honey, how was your afternoon?" Yeah, sometimes you have to show them, eh? Sometimes you just have to show them. Uba bonise, uba kombise. Yeah, because ni ate sharp mina.
Yo, Pretoria, you guys have been amazing, man. Thank you so much for coming out. I had such a great time with all of you. Johannesburg, thanks for showing out. South Africa, we did it, baby. Thank you so much. I love you guys.